I have not. Hey, little baby Rose.
It's my baby,
You a baby.
little Rosie.
Oh, Rosie. Oh, girl. Oh, Rosie. Yeah,
Just one.
nice.
Just one.
Well, that's now on
One ball.
Twitch. That's live stream to the world.
World heard that.
The world heard it. It's documented.
Document it. She's gonna look back at this 20 years from now. And be
Hopefully,
like,
your other
"Ooh."
two don't.
Yeah.
Hopefully, your other two don't.
Honestly, it might be easiest if she chills with me. It might be
Yeah.
for the best. You know.
Yeah, sure. I'm with it. What up, everybody? Bus Stop Boys. Another video for you. We doing it live because that's
We
how
have
we
special
do it.
guest. Special guest in
guest.
the building. Baby Rose.
Baby Rose.
Baby Rosie.
Little baby Rose.
She'll probably be in and out, but we'll see. We wanted to talk about today the presidential
The debate, if you want to call it that. Jeez.
Yeah. General consensus that I saw on social media from most people was negative.
Oh, yeah.
And that's people that were Republican and Democrat. Like, nobody was fucking with that last
No.
night.
It was atrocious. It was atrocious. Like, I feel real bad. I feel really bad about the state of the world and what it's going to look like in November. I'm just a layman.
The thing is, too, is like, I took a nap yesterday, and I intentionally set my alarm to wake me up so that I could watch this debate.
Watch the debate.
And, like, I regretted it. I was like, man, I should have just kept taking my nap.
Oh, I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I saw it.
I'm glad I saw it. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it.
I'm glad I saw it. Because, like, yeah, but that's what's... One of those two men are going to be the leader of the free world in November.
How, Sway?
How did we come that... How did we get that
Like,
this far gone, dude?
I don't know, man.
How did we get this far gone?
Oh, I don't think we're on YouTube, by the way.
You don't think we're on YouTube?
No, 'cause I'm on YouTube. Okay, Rose, you can't be that close.
Let me check.
Can't be that close.
We still working on our stream, guys.
But as you check that, I'll talk.
Oh, we are so on YouTube, bro. Look at us.
Am I,
Look at them smiling faces.
I don't see it on here. Maybe I'm tripping.
You tripping, dude.
Well, not on my phone, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna give up on caring of that.
So,
But no,
what
leave
do
the
you-
door open.
what do you think the most alarming thing was?
For me, for one, I felt like, all right, we're joking and stuff, but I feel like they did not try to have a constructive conversation whatsoever. Both of them came in there like ready to fight.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna start swinging, man. I really did. Like, for a second there, I was like, we might see a fight. For a lot of it, I was like, we might see a fight, cause like.
But the thing, it just was so unprofessional. It was
so unprofessional on both halves.
Both.
On both halves, like, definitely. Here's the thing. This is the way that I've been describing it. The way it looked like to me is like Donald Trump is a bully, and Joe Biden is the kid on the playground who doesn't know how to handle a bully. Like, he's literally just doing exactly what Donald Trump wants him to do. He wants him to retaliate like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Joe Biden also got in the mud. He also got in the mud.
Okay.
He tried to fight fire with fire.
I want to prerequisite and say that this conversation in no way am I saying one is a better option than the other or choose one or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they were both clowns last night.
They were both clowns. Man.
Highlight for me, if we want to go to a comedic part of it.
Oh, I definitely know what it is.
Donald Trump was a funny motherfucker, man.
Oh, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
When this cat said we brought back the NFL and Big Ten football.
He brought back Big Ten football. The Ohio State, the state of Ohio is very happy with him.
I was like, What does that have to do with
It
anything?
had nothing to do with anything that they were talking about. Like, it's madness, dude. It's straight
Or when
up
Trump
madness.
said, when Trump was like, "How many law enforcement people do you have that's on your side? Name one. I'll wait. We have time."
Yeah. And then didn't give him time. Like,
No.
it was crazy. He was just completely disregarding the format of the debate. Like, I felt so bad for the moderator. I felt so bad for him.
What was that moderator's name? Because
Chris.
Let's give him a clap. He did the best he fucking could.
He did the best he could, man. He had to raise his voice to the president of the United States. Like,
numerous times.
The whole time. The whole time, man. It's just proof that kindergarten teachers don't get paid enough, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
it was wild.
Okay, now I got on YouTube.
It was wild. And I don't know what to think, man.
And like, I don't know, man. I watched the debate because you and I have talked about this recently already. Like, we gotta feel like we need a reason to vote. Like, we can actually see some change.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in our generation, in our age group, we're struggling with that. And
yeah, exactly.
It's hard for us to want to vote or to believe in government.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch this debate in hopes that would like fire me up and want me to vote. And it just made it worse.
I am in the exact same boat. I watched because like I'm interested in voting. I gotta say, Sam got under my skin. Your older brother.
Yeah.
Got under my skin last time we were talking, and I was like, well, all right, let me figure this out. I didn't register to vote yet, but I got the paperwork sent to me to register. I was interested in voting, and my decision was made no easier. My decision was made no easier because, yeah, Donald Trump is just, bro, like, awful. The most alarming thing to me from Donald's side, for sure, was when he wouldn't denounce the white supremacists. Like, big red flag there. He would not say it.
Very direct question.
That was a very direct question, and he had the opportunity to just squash that one. No, I don't like these white supremacists claiming me, but he's too afraid to lose those votes. He knows those are the people who are helping keep him in office.
And that's the biggest problem right there.
Yes.
It's because whether he agrees with them,
whether he agrees or not,
it's like you're not willing to denounce it because it's just about winning.
Because it's votes.
Not about the people. It's not about what people actually need. And that's what's sad about our government and this democracy. Like,
it's terrifying.
That's what gives me like little faith in the government. Like,
yeah.
And so, if I'm being real, I lean more towards Biden already. Yeah. But for me, it's like the shinier of turds. And
it's a giant douche in a turd sandwich.
If it was Bernie Sanders, I would 100% know that I would be voting for Bernie Sanders if he was the Democratic nominee.
I don't know if I'd vote for Bernie.
I really like Bernie Sanders.
I don't know if I'd vote for Bernie.
Really? Yeah.
But here's the thing, and it's one of the reasons why I don't want to say I defend Donald Trump, but I'm not a Donald Trump hater. And it's because fundamentally, I'm a capitalist. Like,
sure.
I am a cat. Like, that's I've taken classes, and I think capitalism gets a really bad rap. You know what I mean? Like, I really think capitalism gets a really bad rap. When, in its purest form, a free market economy, everybody has the opportunity to thrive.
Sure.
So that's why I tend to lean more Republican, because I love lower taxes and less regulation.
So does Donald Trump.
And so does Donald Trump. But I'm not a white supremacist. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Bernie was a little too on the social, I don't want to say socialist, but he was definitely not a capitalist.
Here was the big thing for me, wanting Bernie. And Trump completely lied about this last night as well. We're talking healthcare.
Yeah.
Right? when he's like, yeah, they're lower prices, we've been doing great, blah blah blah. That is completely false and not true.
Yeah,
that is not true.
It's
just the same, if not
you
worse.
as a someone who works in a pharmacy have not seen lower prices during the Trump administration for anything.
Not at all. Not at all. It's the
not
same
insulin like he claimed.
No, not at all. And like I said, I work in a pharmacy, and like I have seen countless times a person come in there, and it's like a medicine they need to be alive to, like insulin or high blood pressure medication, like stuff like that you need to keep going day to day. I've seen them not be able to afford that,
and just straight up, sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, they're looking at me like, "What can you do?" And I'm like, and it feels terrible. Like, and it's like, how can we as America continue to let this happen? And the biggest problem is because our healthcare system is for profit.
Yeah.
It's for profit. That needs to go away. The pharmaceutical industry are the biggest crooks in modern day America, in my opinion.
Yeah, big pharma, but
huge crooks.
But I would say this is like I had said earlier, I think capitalism in its purest form is where it's at. Yeah. We start to get in trouble when the two start to get together. You know what I mean? Where the government is choosing where to put the money. Like which big pharma companies are getting bailed out. Like that is whenever it starts to fuck up. If you just let people fail, if you just let companies fail when they're supposed to, a better one is right around the corner. Somebody is waiting to take that spot and do it better, but the government will not let that happen. So we just keep funding these
entity and power.
Absolutely, because they have the incentive to do so. They got a dog in the fight, Yeah. And that's what makes me. That's what I think. I think capitalism, free market economies would be fantastic in their purest form, but we don't have that right now. And that's why I
understand.
That's why I think capitalism gets a bad rap.
I understand the idea of capitalism, I do. But at the same time, it's like me, for instance, I don't work minimum wage, but I don't work like a super high paying job. I'd say I'm a couple bucks above minimum wage. I'm doing okay. Rosie, hey. Rosie's mad.
Hey, Rosie.
What's up, girl?
She's coming to your defense.
I think I do okay financially, like far as like my income, and it's like I'm still struggling, bro. Like I saw the statistic that said there is no state in America where you can live off minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and the rich just get richer and richer. And I'm not saying everybody needs to fucking just give us money just because we need money or blah blah blah. But the disparity, like the difference in wealth in this country is insane. And all I feel like Trump is wanting to do is to continue that. And I like Bernie Sanders because he was trying to break that down more. That's where I was coming from.
Yeah. But at what cost?
At what cost? I mean, if you look at it, bro, the airlines are about to get bailed out for the second time this year.
I know, and that's insane. That is insane to me.
That's insane. We're talking American Airlines, bro. That's one of the biggest fucking airlines in the world. You're telling me they can't manage their money properly?
Yeah.
If they can manage their money properly, they choose not to because they know the government will bail them out.
They'll get bailed out. I don't
have that option.
Right.
You don't have that option.
Well, I kind of do. I kind of am getting bailed out right now.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm just saying, generally speaking, like we as just general citizens, we don't have the option to just like fuck our money off and then be like, "Hey, government, give me more money."
Right. That's where it's
save
sour,
my
dude.
business.
That's where it's sour.
The problem. It's so we have so much corruption. It drives me crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, that's because people of power don't want to give up power. They'll
do whatever they can to keep it.
They will do whatever they can to maintain that power. No doubt. And unfortunately, those are the people who are in power. Those are the people who can really make big moves.
Why would you close the door if you want me to open it?
I feel absolutely hopeless, man. I feel absolutely
I do too.
Hopeless.
I do too.
I don't think there's anything I can do, even putting a check mark on a piece of paper, man.
Yes,
I don't think that's going to do it.
You closed the door, and now you want me to open the door.
I don't think that's going to do it. Kids, am I right?
Kids, am I right?
Any of my viewers out there have children? Y'all got children? We over here debating the debate, y'all.
But no, yeah, I just don't think that was a constructive conversation. And all I think it did was really just stress everybody else out.
It stressed everybody out, man. It stressed me out. We lost. We lost the debate last night.
Yeah, man. Like,
neither one of them won, but we all lost.
I if I'm being 100% honest though, I liked what Biden was saying a lot more when I could hear it. Way more than what Trump was saying.
True, but how much of it was true? That's the thing.
That's the problem.
They both kept on saying, points, and then the other one would say, "Well, that's a lie."
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to know anything? How am I supposed to get any information here? Like, you can look at any metric and prove your point. You really can. You can find a metric that proves your point.
Yeah.
For anything.
What else was funny was when Trump was like, "Yeah, your son got kicked out of the military for cocaine."
Yeah, he straight up. He put him on.
Damn.
He put him on Front Street, dude. He put him on Front Street.
Biden's like, he's like, "Yeah, well, my son had a drug problem. He had a drug problem."
Damn, going for the jugular, dude.
I'm like, but that was the problem too. Is like, they were talking about each other's kids. Like, Biden brought up Trump's family too, and it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about y'all's families. Tell me what you're gonna do for the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say,
a personal thing.
One point that I gotta give to Trump, gotta give to him. It was early in the debate. I think it was like the first topic, huh? What now?
Big Ten football.
Oh yeah, I agree there. Thank you, Trump. Thank you for that Big Ten football. But whenever he was talking about appointing somebody to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
yes,
the point that he made, and I wish he could have made more points like this. They elected me for 4 years, not 3. Got to give it to him there.
Yeah,
got to give it to him there.
I agree. I'll agree with that.
And whenever he said that, I was like, all right, we're not gonna get regular old Trump, but nah, man, we got Trump 2.0, dog. We got the wildest Trump anyone's ever seen last night.
It's any different though. It's the same dude that we've been seeing for the last 3.5, 4 years. Same dude. Like, nothing's different. Anything.
He wasn't debating Hillary like this, bro. He wasn't debating Hillary like this.
You don't think? I don't even know if I watched the debate with him and Hillary. I don't know if I even watched that one, to be real with you.
He was way worse. Man. He was way worse now.
And so the next debate is going to be Kamala Harris and Mike Pence.
Yeah.
And I hope those two can be adults. I hope they can be adults. Like, that's my hope. Because I'll watch that one as well. But it just seemed like nothing constructive came out of this. Nobody learned to personally attack each other. Nobody learned anything.
Nobody learned anything.
Personally attack each other and lie to the whole country. They both lied.
What channel did you watch it on?
I watched it on ABC.
You watched it on ABC? I watched it on CNN, and immediately after, when they went back to the studio, some lady on CNN said, "Well, that was a shit show." On CNN, bro. On fucking CNN, she said shit live. I was like, what's happening? What's going on?
She's not wrong, though.
She's not wrong.
Like,
no, she's not wrong at all. She's not wrong at all. But, I mean, they spend their whole lives figuring out ways to avoid saying shit show.
That's how shocking this was.
She straight up said
you
shit
gotta realize,
on CNN.
These are two 70-some-year-old men. Two 70-something-year-old men
Yeah.
Sounded like fucking middle schoolers arguing in the playground.
Awful. And that's
what are y'all doing?
One of them's gonna be the president, dog.
And then it also kind of the one thing that I kind of thought about too after this debate was, man, who's our other options? Like, because there are other options, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're just not getting the limelight.
Oh, bro, Jo Jorgensen.
Jo Jorgensen. Maybe I should look into him, see what's going on with him.
It's a she, actually. It's a she.
Oh, she. Excuse me. I apologize.
It's cool. It's cool. I understand. She's the Libertarian candidate. That's who I'd vote for if I knew it wasn't a completely, totally wasted vote.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. It's completely, totally wasted vote.
Have you ever seen Key and Peele's Dunk the Vote?
No.
Oh my God, Aaron, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Is that my homework?
Yes. Watched Key and Peele's Dunk the Vote. You will cry. You will cry, dude.
Okay. I will say, one thing that I really did not like that Trump said, besides how he very clearly did not say anything bad about white supremacy, or denounce white supremacy, I really, really didn't like how he was basically saying the election's rigged if he loses. Or no matter what, the election's rigged.
Yes,
I don't like that.
That is the scariest thing to me, because I fear that Joe Biden is going to win and Trump's going to go, I'm not fucking leaving. Not fucking leaving.
What? I'm not fucking leaving.
That's going to be Trump, dude. That's going to be Trump. He's not going to want to leave.
Yeah, no, then you know what? That's kind of what he's saying. And then, like, they called it, like, voter suppression. Like, he's saying it's a sham so less people vote, which is like, it's just like, how can we trust the system? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can say I don't have faith in our government.
I feel like nobody answered any of the questions. They just
or if
started.
They did. It was super vague.
They were just throwing dirt immediately.
Yeah.
But Big Ten football, we got it. He brought it back.
What made me laugh was, and I don't know if you noticed this, was at the very beginning, the moderator was like, "Yeah, because of COVID, we're not going to shake hands," and Trump was like,
"Yeah."
Like, I ain't shaking that motherfucking hand.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, here on Twitch, a lot of the people that I interact with on Twitch are foreign. They're from Europe, most of them.
Yeah.
Some from the Philippines and everything like that. And whenever I talk about this kind of stuff, they're like, well, I'll tell you, it's really entertaining. It's really entertaining from an outsider looking in, but it's not comforting knowing that shit show is our government, dude. I think we'd be better off if they just had a duel, dog, straight up 10 paces, turn and shoot kind of scenario, like the olden days.
If I'm being real, I don't really see much difference. I don't really see what, besides the kind of scary things that Trump brings into the aspects of the white supremacy and things like that. I don't really see, as far as legislation, how either of them are really going to be any different.
They're not. They're not.
It's just all a game to them. It's a game, and it's our lives. And
yeah.
What are we supposed to do?
I hate the two-party system. I hate it.
It's awful.
Because you put one party in power for 4 to 8 years, and they're going to do as much as they can to run things their way. And as soon as that next party gets elected, they're going to spend the majority of their term tearing down whatever it was that last party was doing. So it is straight up 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
That's what's happening right now with Donald Trump and the Obama administration.
Yes. He's
just
spending
like Obama
so much
did the
time
same thing to Bush.
undoing it. Yeah, I had a...
Obama did the same thing to Bush, yeah.
Yes, and it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening as long as we have two-party system. You know what? I think this was crazy, and I haven't thought about it like this until just now. Did you know that the first 2 presidential elections in American history, the way that it used to work out was whoever was the runner-up, whoever lost, became vice president. They were VP.
Really?
Yes. And so, I don't know if you ever
it's a
seen
win-win, essentially.
You're gonna become VP, but you have somebody in VP who you hate, and the person who's the president is somebody you hate. So then they were like, no, I get to choose who my vice president is. But I wonder what it would be like if that was still the case. If there would at least be some kind of balance, so you got 2 parties running the show
I don't know if there would
together.
be, because I would imagine the VP, if he hates the president, he's like, hey, kill that nigga. I'm president now.
I'm the president. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm the captain now.
Assassinations would be more commonplace. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But,
hey, what
no,
up? You good? We hanging.
Just good. I just left the door open because the kid.
Hey.
We're talking about the election.
The debate. Or lack thereof.
But I watched a thing on CNN, and they were talking about it was like the polls basically, and pretty much the numbers they got back. Like this is immediately after the debate, where that no one changed their stance whatsoever.
Right.
Like it went up and down like 1 or 2%, like not a big movement at all.
Yeah.
So that was not constructive, and honestly, both of them should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. I was talking to some folks earlier today about it, and they were like, "Well, I think Joe Biden did better than I thought. You know, I thought he was going to have one of those senile episodes. He didn't seem to do anything like that. He seemed to have held his own." And I'm like, if that's the best he can do is just not have a stroke on the air to be president, like to be better than Donald Trump, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That the best you can do, man.
But Trump is just like, it's just so unprofessional, and that's what bothers me. Like, especially like me, like formerly being in the military, like it's all about professionalism, man. Like you can't act like that in a professional setting. And he's at the highest level of this country, and he does that shit. And it's like, we couldn't do that anywhere. You couldn't do that shit anywhere, man.
Anywhere. Yeah, I mean, not even just the military, just in life, bro.
Just in life. But I'm saying that's what taught me that was the military.
Yeah.
So,
One thing I think is I heard this, I don't remember where I heard it, but they were talking about how, like, Trump's father was mega rich. Like, Trump is a family dynasty.
Yes.
And so Trump has always been rich, and his whole life, people just kind of put up with him because he was rich. You know what I mean? Like when he's at the party, it's like he's just being fucking Donald. Like, but we need his money. Yeah. We need that support that he gives. We want him here, even though we don't like him. And so, like, I think that a lot of that has translated into this. It's like he doesn't have those people skills. He does not have those people skills.
I believe that.
Because people just put up with him for so long.
Can I ask you this?
Shoot.
This is something I've been seeing on social media the last, like, couple of days. What is your opinion on him and his taxes?
Taxes?
Like, how he's allegedly paid a very small amount of taxes, probably less than you or I. What do you think about that? Because I've seen people, like, happy and celebrating that and saying how smart he is for doing that. And I'm like, how is that cool? Like, why are we okay with that?
I mean, I'm definitely not happy and celebrating, but I'm not mad about it because he can get the best tax professionals in the world. Like, it's not like he's the only one who can get that big of a tax break. He just happens to have...
there's tons of them doing it.
Yeah, he just happens to have those opportunities in front of him. He knows who to talk to get his taxes down to a minimum, and that's just something you and I don't have. You know, we just don't. It's out there. If we wanted to,
that's okay.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do. Yes.
Or
I don't
for
think that's
another example. Another example is like Jeff Bezos, head of Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, he's been on the not on the record. It's come out that he has hired people directly from the IRS
to do his taxes.
To do his taxes.
Brilliant.
Like, hires them. They quit the IRS. They work for him because they know the ins and out of all.
They know the ins and outs. Brilliant.
And he's paid almost like literally less than that in taxes.
Yeah, I mean,
you and I don't have that opportunity because my paycheck, it comes right out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can do taxes at the end if you're saving receipts and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could.
Like, you could. Is all I'm saying. Like,
I don't think it should be a celebrated thing. Like, okay, let me put it this way. Let me spin it a different way, though. If that is okay, then in my opinion, the tax system is flawed. Hugely, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because the rich just get richer, the poor stay poor, and it's not right to me.
Well, to play devil's advocate, if I may.
Sure.
This is one of the things that I learned in my I took a class called Economic and Moral Foundations of Capitalism. I took this class.
You're an expert.
No, I'm not going to say expert, but what I'm saying is I took a class, is what I'm saying. And if you overtax the rich, you begin to take away incentive for innovation. For innovation. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, to take financial risk in order for financial gain. Here's the thing, Jeff Bezos, I understand you may not love the working conditions or all of this with Amazon. He might not have paid a lot of taxes, but think about how many people he's employed. That Jeff Bezos is responsible for employing who have jobs to feed families because of his greed. And that, to me, like, that's the thing about capitalism is, like, at least other people are benefiting from other people's greed. You can't eliminate greed in the world. People are going to want to get big and powerful. At least let it trickle down. Think about all the jobs, all the services. If I don't get if something says it's going to take 2 days to ship and it takes 3, I'm pissed.
Yeah, that's just us being spoiled, though.
It is us being spoiled. But isn't it badass that you can get something to you in 3 days?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But then, like, I mean, we're going to go down a rabbit hole here because now I'm kind of, my head's going. And then that makes me think, like, people that commit, like, nonviolent crimes, whether it's a felony or not, or say somebody getting arrested for marijuana, you know, did all this time in prison, blah, blah, blah. They did their time. They did it, you know, stayed out of trouble after there. They're a convicted felon. They can't get a job. The only thing they can work is minimum wage. So they work at McDonald's and they're just struggling the rest of their life for something, you know, they did 10 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like the separation
that's a different problem though, man. That's a whole different problem.
That's a different problem. But what I mean and the way I'm tying this in is like the rich have so much money. Jeff Bezos has more money than he can ever spend. His grandchildren can ever spend.
Yeah.
He made more money today than I'm going to make this whole year probably. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how much money this dude has.
He made more money today than you'll ever make in your life.
That's what I'm saying. And so, like, I mean, I'm on vacation from work right now, but on the average, like, you know, I make enough just to get by, man. I'm not balling. I ain't got 2 cars. I ain't got a big house. Like, I'm just doing okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, I am working so hard all the time. Like, and I don't have the resources to do the things that these people can do.
You're right.
And that's my biggest problem. You don't either.
Well, you're right. You're right. But I still feel like I have that opportunity. Like, I'm looking for that. You know what I mean?
I'm looking. I'm actively
looking for that.
and I got plans. I got plans. You know my plans. I got plans to
You
kind
got
of up my
plans.
life and whatnot.
Fuck yeah, you do. Fuck yeah, you do. And here's the thing, though, man. In my eyes, I'm all for helping people who need it. Okay, I'm not making that argument. But that's your responsibility. That's not Jeff Bezos' responsibility. He'll give you a job at Amazon. He'll give you a job at Amazon, bro, if you want it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a principle that I learned also while I was in economics, which was expert. I have a minor in it. I got a minor in economics. I will say that.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I have a minor in economics. If I worked really hard, if I spent the next week making a mud pie, a pie made of mud, if I spent a week doing that, and it's the best mud pie anybody's ever seen, is that going to make it taste good? Is that going to value it any more than an apple pie that I just popped in the oven, like real quick? The amount of time, and what I'm saying is, effort is completely different than value.
Okay.
Effort is different than value. Jeff Bezos brought something that people value. Amazon. Books. One button shopping. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not to devalue anybody's job, but different. Value is not effort. The amount of time you put into something really does not have much to do with how valuable other people
I see where you're going with this. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see where you're going. I don't know, man. I guess we're just gonna agree to disagree somewhat, because like fundamentally, like it irks my soul to see how hard I work and other people around me work and see how much they struggle.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, small example.
Yes.
Last year I was on food stamps. I have no shame in saying that. I have no shame in saying that, right?
Absolutely.
And we were getting by. It was a little easier, but we were getting by. I got a raise at my job, 26 cents. I got a raise, 26 cents.
And that took you out of the bracket to get food stamps.
Then I made too much money to get food stamps, so I lost my food stamps. And then since then, it's been Struggleville.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? I'm working just as much, just as hard, like and that 26 cents is not even noticeable in my paycheck.
Yeah, didn't do shit.
That's the thing that's bothering me.
I feel that it does not counterbalance the food stamps.
No. And so when they were talking about how he wants to get rid of Obamacare, and like all these people are going to lose healthcare, like I'm probably in that category of people that's going to lose healthcare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have it through the government right now?
I have it through the VA, and my family, like my wife and kids, they have it through my job partially and through the government partially.
Yeah. I feel that. The thing, like, I'm not anti-helping people by any stretch of the imagination.
But I feel like
I don't know if that's the government. I don't know if that's the government's job, is what I'm saying.
What is their job then?
Make sure we don't get bombed. Like,
so you think their only job is national security?
Yes. No. That's not their only job. But I would like as little government as humanly possible.
But you can't
think about the harm. Think about the harm. But
think about it but really think about it. If the government just focused on national security, there are so many problems within this country. And I'm not even just talking about this year or race relations or anything like that. There are so many things that the government has to step in on. Has to.
Like what?
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay. Just like I said, the economy, jobs, Stepped on my foot there, huh?
I mean, the thing is I think the government tends to do more harm than good, man. Like, it's one of those things. What a huge
policing, like
okay.
like for example, anybody saying defund the police, I think that is just ridiculous. It's a
dumb.
ridiculous idea.
It
dumb. Really is. We can't. You have to have law and order. You have.
Yes, and I completely agree with that. But the thing is the government has found a way to make money from their law and order.
Yeah.
I told you this before. I think the biggest problem we have, two biggest problems we have, internally in this country, the war on drugs.
Yep.
Don't like the war on drugs. And the war on drugs is what's feeding with the next one, the prison system.
Yep.
And that's, honestly, I think that those are the two, like, most racist laws. Or I think the war on drugs is the most racist thing the government is doing. Legitimately.
Yeah. Healthcare is my biggest one. Healthcare is my biggest problem. But I would say, yes, the war on drugs and incarceration.
Because whenever you make things illegal, the demand is inelastic. People are going to buy drugs. People who are hooked on drugs are going to buy drugs.
Prostitutes are going to prostitute.
Prostitutes are going to prostitute. But guess what? Instead of going to a nice brothel where the prostitutes are tested and they want to be there, they're making good money, they can go to another prostitute. They could go to another brothel if they're not treated right.
Yeah.
Instead, we're leaving it to fucking Debo, the pimp, who, if you fucking leave, he's going to whoop your ass.
And probably shoot you up with some heroin or something.
And probably shoot you up with some heroin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're creating criminals, bro. By legalizing or making things illegal, we create criminals. And then they go to prison, and what do? They become better criminals because that's the only thing they'll be able to do for the rest of their lives.
Because we take everything away from them.
Because we take everything away
from them. You can't hire them. They can't vote. They can't leave that
nothing,
state. Dude. Like, they can't do shit. Yeah.
And predominantly black. Massively predominantly black in the prison system. That's what infuriates me. I
think I saw a statistic. It said something like, 4 out of 6 African Americans males have been arrested by the age of 25.
Crazy statistic. And it's because they're staying in these neighborhoods where there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of drug activity, and it's because that's the only way they can float, man. That's the only way they can float.
You got no other option for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I feel them, and it's like that's why there's such a big emphasis on sports and music in black communities. Like, it's like,
yeah, it's a way out.
It's a way out. It's the only way they see out.
Yeah,
and that's awful.
Yeah, it's fucking shitty, awful. And I wish we could have a candidate that could come in and really try to address those real problems.
Yeah.
But the problem is I think a couple of these people have come up and have tried to, address these things. But the way our political system is set up with the donors and the parties and things like that, they don't win it.
Yeah.
They don't even get their way in. Like, they can't even get to the table because of the way the system's set up. And those are the ones we need sitting in the Oval.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Stanford prison experiment?
I'm not.
Has that ever... they've made movies about it. I think there's a couple movies about it. So in Stanford, I want to say it was like the 60s. I think it was like in the 60s. They took a class of people, several people, and they made a prison. They made a jail, like a little jail in the school. And they split the class into 2 sections, the prisoners and the guards. They said, all right, you're a prisoner, you're a guard. And so quickly, those guards were treating the people who were assigned prisoner like absolute trash. Like, the fact that they were given that power.
Yeah.
It's like absolute power. What's the quote? Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to do. They're in those positions of power. And everyone else is not. We are just pawns. You know what I mean?
It's sad, man. I have no faith. I have no faith in our government.
Yeah.
I really don't. And it's sad. And I remember a certain point in my life where I remember thinking, like, I'm so glad that I'm American. I'm so lucky to have been born here. So lucky to live this life. And for the most part, I think I am, and I still feel that way.
Yeah, you were.
But, like, I feel like I'm a pretty well-traveled guy. I've been all over the world. And, like, I have just seen how other countries do certain things. And I just can't fathom why we can't.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I have never left the country. Never even been to Mexico or Canada.
I've never been to Mexico or Canada. But I'll say, like small example, like Japan. And I'm not saying, well, okay, they don't have guns over there.
Yeah.
Like, their cops don't have guns. I'm not saying take all the guns away. That's not what I'm saying. It is too much, though. It is. And people know it is, but whatever.
Like your bro?
Yeah, too fucking much. Like, why do you need that? But
it's uncomfortable. It was a little uncomfortable.
My thing is, they have so little crime involving guns over there because it's super hard to get a gun. Now, that's not to say that crime isn't happening in other ways, like stabbings or beatings, things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't hear of Japan having a mass shooting in a mall, in a school. You don't hear about that shit because the access to it is completely different. And it's just little things like that. I'm not saying we got to do that exact thing. I'm just saying, like, little tiny things like that I see in other countries, and they work. And we're at a point in America where, like, it's a Second Amendment, that's my rights, and it is. But at what point do your rights become, like, less important compared to people's safety?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, though, Japan is a hell of a lot smaller than the States.
Yes.
Very small. It seems like that would be... Yeah, I mean, that's a really crazy one to me, too, because it's almost the same as drugs. It's like if you take it away, then only criminals will have it. The only kinds of people who would be willing to have guns are people who are willing to break the law.
Sure enough, yeah. But actually, I do need to wrap this up.
That's a tricky one to me.
Second grade.
All right, man. You have fun. Are you smarter than a second grader?
Yes, because their work is easy as fuck.
Nice. You go teach it up, teacher Aaron.
I'm not teaching. I'm just assisting.
You go assistant Aaron.
All right, man. Good talk. We will continue somewhat of a political conversation next time. I really want to talk Edward Snowden. I've been teasing this for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. That kind of ties more into like the government and whatnot too. And
yeah, well, we might want to talk a little bit about that debate on Wednesday, the next one.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna touch on that. Definitely gonna hit on that one.
See how that
Hopefully
goes.
They'll be adults. Do you think they'll be adults? I hope so.
Yeah. More so.
All right.
All right, cuz. Talk to you later.